Hey, it's Tim, Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk, and finishing up my trip here in Santa Fe, and I came across these really unique images online that Car Buzz had run and F-150 Gen Forum had run, and so I thought I'd share with you guys this really interesting tailgate that Ford's working on. These are patent filings, so they're taking the patent on this, but we have some really interesting color photos, which you normally don't get in patent filings. You just see a bunch of spec charts and CAD drawings and things. What's really interesting about this is Ford's taken like the best of Ram and an idea from Chevy as well, looks like, to make getting into the bed easier, as well as accessing the bed when you have like a trailer attached or something deeper in the bed you want to get to. So it's really interesting stuff. There's always questions durability on this kind of stuff. That's why I see conservative companies like Nissan and Toyota don't do these kind of things because they're always concerned about durability. But Ford's doing them, and Ram's doing them, and Chevy's doing them. So anyways, let's go and get the screen and talk about these. Okay, let's start with this first image, and you can see it's a little funky, right? It's a normal Ford tailgate. It has the Ford emblem, but the Ford emblem isn't moved. We have a big handle and right in the middle of the tailgate. Plus we have the traditional handle up by the tailgate latch, right? So that's traditional. But it's interesting with this door. And so when you open that door, boom, next photo, right? Open the door, you have basically a whole center section opens and closes. So it's not quite like you'll see in a little bit. I'll reference Ram's Dutch door where they have I think it's a 70-30 split, something like that, and one big side opens, the other side stays closed. So this is right in the middle. Right in the middle of that is going to open. So we can see a different kind of trim level, looks like maybe higher trim level or something that's going on there. Looks like a little bit like Lincoln Blackwood to me from my history of things. But boom, that opens again. So you have the same situation where it's going to open right in the middle, and then they're going to keep the innovations they have in a tailgate, right? So the tape measure, the slot for your iPad and things, they're able to keep that with the design because it looks like it can fold down the whole way too, like a traditional bed. And then right in the middle, and we'll get to some spec drawings in this, they're gonna keep their step in there too, so you'll be able to fold it down, have the step still. We're just gonna add that door opening, and you can see little lines here. So it's interesting here. These photos, you can still see you have the workbench area, which is what they've had on different trucks. And so it looks like they're going to keep all of that in this situation. So here we go, the specs. So you can see the CAD drawing. You can see these are reference points of things you're talking about in the patent filing. But you can see we're going to be able to fold it flat. So you're able to keep that stuff. You can see the lines cut there. So you're still going to be able to fold your tailgate flat, use those innovations came up with the current Ford tailgate. And then you'll be able to close it and then open just the main door. And they have a CAD drawing here, yes, of a person getting a box out. And one of the things, if you haven't used RAM system, you need to go use it because it's really awesome how much distance you get closer to the bed than you would normally. So typically the tailgate sticks out and you have to battle a tailgate to get through. When you can step through that tailgate with the door open and access things, it makes things a lot easier to get things out of the bed. Plus if you have a trailer hooked up, depending on the trailer setup, if you need to get in the bed, sometimes you have to crawl around the trailer and hop in, that kind of stuff. With these split doors, sometimes you can get into bed sometimes. I don't know on this one because the way it's split. I know with Rams you can split just a little portion of it and be able to get into the bed. So that's really interesting. And really this is all a byproduct of the fact that cabs have gotten taller. As more headroom and cabs have gotten taller and the truck's getting taller, the bed's gotten taller. And so when the bed's gotten taller, we've had come new innovations now to be able to use the freaking bed. I mean, that's what's happening. This is a really interesting drawing. I need you guys' comments below because I was kind of shocked when I saw this, and I haven't seen anybody else comment on this. But this is, this is definitely your bumper, right? And so the big squares by your license plate. You have the hitch receiver, and one of the criticisms that you have with GM's system is that you can smash a receiver if you fold it all the way down without paying attention to your balls in the receiver there. And in this case, look at that. It looks like they have some sort of step that's going to maybe come out or fold over that goes over top of a receiver. So this is an interesting thing. I don't really know what this is. I'm not an engineer, so I'm going to let you guys comment down below. But it definitely looks like it's a step into the bed that you can leave the tailgate down. It gives you that just a little bit more of a step. Bumper steps for me are fine. I can reach them pretty easily, but this is interesting. And again, I'm not quite sure what they're doing here. But then we go back and they're showing the design. So one of the biggest questions with these systems is, again, like I said, durability. What are the brackets going to be made out of? How long the brackets going to happen? If it lasts with rust, with sand and dirt getting in there. Those are all big questions that, frankly, we just don't know. This technology is so new, it hasn't been out there long enough. And they're showing how the panels fit together. We're seeing the bolts, how the bracket goes into the bed side, so it's gonna be protected by the bed cover, or like the spray-in bed liner, or a drop-in. Let's say it's behind the metal there, so that way they're gonna keep some of the corrosion away from it, which is something I'm sure Ford's working on. Like how do you keep the corrosion away? How do you keep sand away? How do you keep those hinges still working? And then you can see the image here where the person's using the step still, that exists. And so, and if you haven't seen, this is the current Ram Rebel, right? So it's got that big split. I thought it was 70-30. It could be 60-40. I'm sorry, I don't recall it quite off the top of my head. But that's how that opens, and then the whole tailgate can open as well. So, and I will tell you this, I grabbed that side as it's open, and I put all my body weight on it, and I basically almost stood on it, or not stood on it, but I put all my weight on it, held onto it, and didn't move at all. So, you know, there's some strength to these. They're not cheap and weak. And then this is what I'm talking about here. This is the GMC Sierra tailgate drop down situation, right? And you can see where it drops down that step, and that's where that hits that hitch, which has been concerned with GM owners and things. There's some modifications people have done where they've actually put a sensor back there, so it won't open all the way if something in the hitch. And there's been some aftermarket people doing some pretty cool stuff with that. But this is interesting. So I'm gonna go back. Yeah, I'm gonna go back and just show this one more time. So we have this, and we have this. It is interesting. So let me know. Put the comments down below. I'm kind of curious on this kind of stuff. I like innovations that make my life easier using my truck, but that also last. So I mean, I got a lot of yeah. I'm picky. That's just who I am. So hey, thanks for watching. Make sure to check this other video out over here. Website down below. Like I said, as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you down the road.